Want to start reading X-Men comics but have no idea where to start?
Superheroes. Summers has gotta be nuts.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 X-Men comics you should read.
You're not part of the group.
For this list, we're looking at the most famous issues and story arcs in the X-Men comic book history. Whether you're a huge X-Men fan or just starting out, make sure you check out these comics.
So much for being a survivor.
Number 10, Magneto Testament. Most X-Men fans were aware that Magneto was a Holocaust survivor, but it wasn't until the release of Magneto Testament that fans were given a detailed look at his childhood. This 5-issue storyline reveals a multitude of new information about Magneto, including that his true name is Max Eisenhardt, and that he was in love with a girl named Magda. The story barely touches on Magneto's powers and instead provides a disturbing look into life in Auschwitz. Ultimately, it gives readers a perspective on why Magneto became one of comic books' greatest villains.
Alles ist gut.
Try.
Number 9, New X-Men.
You actually go outside in these things? What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
Many people consider the late 80s and 90s to be an awkward time for comic books, when publications struggled to bring their beloved heroes into a modern era. The X-Men series in particular received some harsh criticism for its bizarre plotlines. That all changed when Grant Morrison took over and essentially recreated the series.
No man takes a beating like that without a mark to show for it. Come on, buddy, this isn't gonna be worth it. I know what you are.
In 2001, Morrison successfully brought the X-Men into the modern age. And while we all miss the yellow spandex, New X-Men breathed new life into the characters. He changed their headquarters from a training center to an actual school with students, and made Emma Frost a prominent character.
You can stop trying to read my mind, sugar.
Morrison's full run lasted over 40 issues and includes 8 story arcs, all of which are worth checking out. Number 8, Second Coming.
Computer, what do I have to fix in the past to preserve this future time?
The past as you know it is being replaced.
Arguably the most pivotal arc in the current era of X-Men, Second Coming features an array of different characters, including the X-Men, Bastion, William Stryker, and even a cameo from the Avengers. The story begins with the return of Hope Summers and Cable from the future, and the action never lets up from there. Ultimately, we see the X-Men doing what they do best, fighting impossible odds but overcoming them to ensure the survival of mutants and humans around the world. The story also ends with an awesome Phoenix Force tease, which just makes us want to read more. Number 7, The Apocalypse Solution.
You had your chance to be the first of my creatures, the first to serve my will.
Dang, I missed it.
Trying to build off the success of the X-Force series, Rick Remender needed a killer story to kick off his uncanny X-Force comic book. He did exactly that with the Apocalypse Solution, a Black Ops team operating without the knowledge of Cyclops and the other X-Men. The uncanny X-Force operates outside the constraints of morality that bind other superhero teams.
Careful with the civilians.
Sheer psych. I'll try not to bruise them while I save their lives.
Led by Wolverine and featuring Archangel, Psylocke, Deadpool, and Phantom X, the team sets out to assassinate Apocalypse, who has now just been reborn as a child.
From the ashes of this world, I will build a better one. Go forth, my horsemen.
Number 6, God Loves, Man Kills.
You should have killed me when you had the chance.
If you are a fan of the film X2 X-Men United, then this is the comic for you. The film is largely based around this 1982 graphic novel, which revolves around William Stryker's attempt to eliminate all mutants. After Stryker kidnaps Professor Xavier, the X-Men are forced to team up with Magneto in order to rescue him.
Wait a minute. How would Stryker even know where to find Cerebro in the first place?
Because I told him.
While most people recognize that the mutants in the X-Men series are a metaphor for any real-world minorities that experience prejudice, this was one of the first issues that made that connection extremely clear.
Off your hands! Get back!
As such, it is one of the most memorable stories in the X-Men canon.
Now, concentrate. Concentrate harder. Now find them all. Find all the mutants. Concentrate harder.
Number 5. Age of Apocalypse.
I am as far beyond mutants as they are beyond you. I am eternal.
Inarguably Apocalypse's most famous story arc, Age of Apocalypse was a massive comic book crossover that lasted 4 months and spanned across multiple titles. In a misguided attempt to save the future, Professor X's son goes back in time to kill Magneto, but accidentally kills his own father instead. This has drastic consequences for the future, as Magneto becomes the leader of the X-Men, while Apocalypse and his horsemen rule North America.
Like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. You got that one from the Bible.
Or the Bible got it from him.
Being set in an alternate timeline, it's kill or be killed for our heroes, and everyone suddenly becomes very expendable.
No! Not Apocalypse!
Number 4. House of M. When the Scarlet Witch finally realizes her true potential, it sparks an event that would forever change the future of the X-Men. Believing that her mental instability is becoming too dangerous, the X-Men and the Avengers meet to decide what to do with her.
Look live, Jarvis. It's playtime. We only got a couple days with this joystick, so let's make the most of it.
Wolverine, along with a few others, propose that the only solution is to kill her. Then, the Scarlet Witch bends reality and makes mutants the majority species while humans become the minority. Eventually, the world returns to normal, but not before the Scarlet Witch utters the famous words, "Daddy, no more mutants," causing nearly every mutant in the world to lose their powers.
Holy shit.
This is the event that the X-Men are still reeling from to this day, making House of M a must-read.
And it's born from the most human part. Hope.
Number 3. Astonishing X-Men.
Professor Xavier is a jerk!
I'm a kid again, out of my depth, completely overwhelmed by everything here.
Nowadays, it seems as if Joss Whedon, director of both Avengers films, can do no wrong. But that wasn't always the case, and some fans were a little concerned when he took over the X-Men reins in 2004.
This, children, is Kitty Pryde, who apparently feels the need to make a grand entrance.
I'm sorry, I was busy remembering to put on all my clothes.
Whedon proved he was more than up to the task, reintroducing Kitty Pryde and bringing Colossus back from the dead. He also helped develop and justify Emma Frost and Cyclops' relationship.
I'm not Xavier, Scott. I'll go through the roster, try to narrow it down. Tomorrow.
Featuring a ton of action, fantastic character progression, and some of the most fun adventures in the X-Men franchise, Astonishing X-Men is Whedon's best comic book writing to date.
And me, I can lead a team, but I haven't looked anybody in the eye since I was 15.
So I'm what? A PR stunt?
Yes. Our own poster child, isn't it sweet?
Number 2. Days of Future Past.
Are we destined down this path? Destined to destroy ourselves like so many species before us?
Most people will be familiar just with the recent film, which drew heavily on this comic book's plot. In the original story, however, it's actually Kitty Pryde that goes back in time in order to prevent the rise of the Sentinels.
Too late, assholes.
The story, which was produced during the series' rise to popularity, spans 2 issues and was one of the most popular story arcs of the 80s. It also introduced 2 new characters, Rachel Summers and Franklin Richards, who would quickly become big parts of the Marvel Universe.
Humanity has always feared that which is different. Well, I'm here to tell you, to tell the world, you're right to fear us. We are the future.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1, The Dark Phoenix Saga.
How are you?
The therapy helped. I'm better.
It's probably no surprise that the Dark Phoenix Saga tops our list, as it is easily one of the most iconic stories in the history of comic books. This story arc, which lasts 8 issues, showcases the return of Jean Grey after seemingly sacrificing herself.
The power of the crystal has been contained, but at what cost?
Having been possessed by the Phoenix Force, Jean's powers improve significantly. She is eventually corrupted by the Hellfire Club, however, and becomes Dark Phoenix, one of the most powerful and dangerous beings in the galaxy.
I
The end of this story arc features the first time a core member of the team was killed, if you don't count Jean Grey, of course, and changed the tone of the X-Men series for years to come.
For the pleasure of the Phoenix, the unbound joy of evil.
Do you agree with our list?
I say we blow this liar right back where he come from.
What's your favorite X-Men comic? For more uncanny top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
That's it. It's over.